G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 2 of my Lightning Deceiver playthrough with Dave here. Just a quick reminder, I am taking suggestions for a new name for Dave here. So far, the ones that have been suggested have been things like Bolty McBoltface, Dumb Bolt I think was suggested as well. No, I actually don't mind Dave the Deceiver, so definitely going to need some better suggestions there. I am fine with Dave as well, so if no one's got anything clever, we may just continue with Dave. But yeah, just a request for names if you have anything clever. I did think about doing things like, you know, David Bolterfield, because he's a magician who's kind of into deceiving people. Anyhow, just a request for names in the comments, and we'll see if there's anything good that comes up. Okay, last episode, or first episode I should say, we got out to the Burridge outskirts and level 12. And I've done a little bit of checking. And if you take 5 points out of Word of Pain, so 1 point here, and put them all into Word of Agony, you know what happens? Actually, not a whole lot. You do get a small amount more lightning damage than you do on the Fire and Cold. So it is a small increase. I did check it. It went from 323 to 377 to like 300-ish to 420 or so. So average damage does get bumped up a little bit. The main reason why I might want to do this, though, is the increased target area is the big bit. However, I'm just going to leave it. It's really not a big deal. And doing Fire and Cold instead of mostly Lightning at this point in the game really doesn't matter. We have literally no resistance shredding on enemies, so at this point, damage basically is just damage. So we could be getting things like, if I happen to find, let's see if they have one here. If I happen to find a rare weapon with a damage proc on it, vitality damage is just as good as lightning at this point. Potentially I'm not going to find anything here. But if we look, well, that's elemental damage, that's alright. If we look for any kind of damage proc, they're not going to have one, are they? No, okay. It doesn't matter. Any kind of damage is just damage at this point, so I'm looking for procs, basically. The other thing is I should check here for any kind of regeneration gear. Something like this would be good. Plus 20 health regeneration. Now, obviously, I can't quite wear it yet. It's level 14. But you do get some bonus XP here. Got some health regeneration. What else we got here? Mystic of Mending. Okay, that's even better. More regeneration. 10% increased spirit. Still got the 3% XP gain, which is not nothing, but it's not particularly amazing. The thing with buying things from shops, that's 4,500 bits, which is not an insignificant amount of my total bits. And we will be getting a monster infrequent medal fairly early into Act 2. So while this would be very useful for fighting Krieg, I think I'm going to not buy it just yet. It is a lot of bits. Okay, actually we don't want the rift because we're going to go and do Barnabas's quest for the pumps, which will get me a little bit more inventory space. We'll open up that bag, which is something I do want to do. Also, we could be getting through this a decent bit faster, so what you can do, you can just throw down the Word of Pain on all of these fools, and then just book it. And you'll see the XP bars just moving along there. We're getting XP. And we don't have to stand there and, you know, watch everything die. We can just run, and assuming I don't get slowed like that, which is incredibly annoying, we just collect XP as we run past. Now, the downside, as I mentioned, I think last episode, is if you don't see it die, it may just drop some really nice gear, and you'll never know it dropped. Obviously, if it drops, for example, blue or purple items, which purple items literally can't drop at this point, but here we go, rooted in place, which is really annoying. But they will show up on the map. So, what is this guy? Shielded, okay. That should kill him, and I'll just kind of hide around the corner here. And boom. Boom goes the dynamite, and they fall down dead, which is always good. That is a lot of extra armor and probably additional offensive ability here, so yep, extra offensive ability. I do want to get some more spirit, but I also want physique here, so I've got a pair of pants that I can wear at 190, so let's put them in there. Definitely putting a point into lightning tether. Even just 1 point, that's an extra, what's that, 120, 150 odd damage? 158 if my maths is mathsing. So definitely want to get my hands on that. I probably want to put a point in Rune of Callister because, well, that sentence was absolutely butchered. Because it's an extra skill, and we are, I mean, throw Word of Pain, throw Stormbox, run around in circles. So let's get Trap we can put on the floor. We can convert this over to Lightning. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to end up using this just for devotion triggers. And you could easily swap this out for, if you go to Occultist here, you could swap it out for Drig's Evil Eye, you could swap it out for Bloody Pox. Just as long as you have something to trigger some devotions later. But for right now, this is just a little bit of extra damage. We can throw this out. We've got 3 spells we can rotate now, so we should be doing pretty good there. In terms of... That always freaks me out. In terms of the last point, I am tempted to just go into the bar, keep pushing up. We can maybe put a point in Death Sentence. I'm not going to max this out, probably. In fact, we're likely going to be losing Word of Pain. In fact, not likely. We will be respeccing out of Word of Pain later. I think, though, I kind of want a little bit more damage on the Stormbox. The Word of Pain actually does, I'm doing air quotes here, enough damage to the point where it kills all the trash fairly quickly. So I'm not terribly worried about damage on that. You can see the lightning tether there. If you run away too far from it, it will break. Does it come back? No, it doesn't. So you can run that around. If you get the Stormbox on multiple big enemies, then they all will chain to each other, and you can do some pretty nice damage with that. Now, I was looking for Of Thunder weapons the other day, but I've realized that actually Stalwart of Scorched Runes on that dagger there is pretty good anyway. The elemental damage is basically as good as lightning damage. In fact, it's better at the moment. And then all 3 damage over time effects obviously are going to be better than just electrocute. So I'm not too worried about the weapon anymore. And Carver's Conjuring Bone is honestly, like, it's good enough. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. Alright, so with that said, let's throw some Word of Pain out. Throw a box out and collect our XP. I know I said I wasn't going to respec the points in Word of Pain, but I am seriously considering it because of the just to get more area on Word of Pain, basically. There we go. One hero is dead, and the other one is about to die. Boom goes dynamite, and we got some more loot. Now, it's not very good loot, although having said that, that is a lot of stats there. Milton's Cask is by far the best helmet in Act 1, but that is a lot of stats. Alright, didn't luck out on the totem, so the totem is not here today, which is kind of fine. Savage totems this early on are a little rippy. You can definitely do them, but yeah, I'm a little scared of them. I won't lie, I'm more than a little bit scared. Alright, so here's Veloth. Hopefully without a friend, and we can get sundered. Okay, so Veloth is potentially the first encounter new players will have with Sunder. Not necessarily, because we did indeed see the Shambler last episode, or in episode 1. So this is the downside, I guess, of this build, is that the damage being damage over time, you do spend a lot of time running around in circles. but it's kind of okay. Let's see if we can run him over this way. Okay, popped it before he got there. Alright, Incorruptible of Alacrity. The Alacrity is attack speed, which is not great, but Incorruptible could be some good resistances, yep. So Poison and Chaos from the Incorruptible prefix. Aether because it's Veloth's ring. This is honestly not very good. I'm probably going to sell that, but I wasn't expecting much. I was looking into the Monster Infrequent rings that are available for this build, and yeah, they're not great. The only one that has skill points that are relevant is from Gargle Balls, and I don't really want to mess with Gargle Balls just yet. So yeah, we may just end up getting, you know, Gollus rings or something for resistances. There are some blue rings available. Kaiman's Chosen has some decent lightning-based rings, but most of the ones you would want to use are going to be random drops. So we could maybe go do some totem runs for that. But that does sound like farming with a low chance of success. Alright, let's have a quick look here. I'm getting to the point where I do want to maybe consider buying some resistance rings. I only want gold bands for this, although if I can find a copper band, that would also be good. Copper band, I want at least 20 health regeneration on any of these that I do end up buying. But I think we're probably fine. Got any weapon procs? There we go, there's a lightning damage proc. Skyfallen, lightning bolt. Could definitely grab that. We would be losing a decent amount of elemental damage though, so maybe not. How about you? What have you got? Essence Drinkers of the Aether. There's Thunderstruck again. Of the Void. That's not bad. It is very expensive though, 21,000, so it would be all of my monies would be going into that. So I'm not going to buy those. Most of the time, you're just looking for yellow items. Here's a worse version of the metal I found not too long ago from this guy. Gold band, no. Gold band and mending, literally just 20 health regenerated. I don't really want to spend... I mean, it's only 1,300. Could definitely go for that. I think I'm going to leave it. We can talk to John Bourbon in here now. So let's go ahead and talk to him, and he's going to send me to Burridge, or is it the Warden? Secure the portal in the Burridge village. Okay, no problems. So we do indeed now have more inventory space, and we can head to the Burridge outskirts. Now you get to make a choice here, because there is a quest for the Blacksmith. And you can take Duncan, who will give you recipes for guns, stuff like that. Or you can take Angrim, who will give you recipes for swords and better armor bonuses. The other difference in normal is that if you side with Duncan, you actually get more XP. Which is not a super huge, massive bonus. However, it is not nothing. And you can get... I think it's double. It's probably not double. I'm probably remembering wrong. But there is definitely a bonus for siding with Duncan. It literally doesn't matter. You will have Angrim in Ultimate anyway, so I am actually going to convince him to give it to Duncan. The downside of this, of course, is now I have to go back and talk to Duncan, whereas Angrim would just go straight to town. Duncan's here making weapons for, I guess, these guys. So here's the hammer. Join me in Devil's Crossing. Now I can go back to town and talk to Duncan to complete the quest. Okay, I do want to get more healing as well, so let's go one in each of those. And I do like damage, so put one in there as well. Most of the healing skills, so what's that, Pneumatic Burst, Word of Renewal, and the Occultist one, Blood of Drieg. Most of them have a kind of a soft scaling cap at 5 points. where they stop getting one of their bonuses, or it now takes 2 skill points to get an additional 1% of their bonus or whatever. So 5 points is usually a pretty good place to stop for those skills. You definitely don't have to, for sure. Now, this area as well can be quite rippy. You can see a lot of this stuff kind of piling up. I'm going to use a potion. Resistant of mending? Okay, that could be good. Still tossing out Word of Pain. The occasional rune. And I'm just making my way over here to the Devotion Shrine because, well, devotion points are really, really yummy. Okay, Fleshbound. Got a couple of rare items there to take a look at. And I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous episode, but you can literally never have enough Aether Crystals, so I'm going to go ahead and pick those up as well. And I think at this point the cave is pretty much empty. Now, I don't normally do, air quotes again, full clears of this area, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Alright, let's get some more physique. This jacket has the same armor, which is good. It's definitely better. I'm going to equip that. For this offhand, we do have an elemental seal. Okay, done. Sold. Sold to the man with the hat. So elemental seal is one of the best early procs in the game because it just hits everything in an area, and because enemies do tend to clump up, I definitely want to get an item like this. +2 to Inquisitor's Seal will be useful in probably longer than it's going to take me to replace that, but yeah, really good stuff. I would like to get that cracked lodestone off, or at least get a new one. And one more point here. So we got some more cold and lightning. Next point gets us the tsunami proc, which we will start leveling up. That's going to be in just outside the Warden's house, I think. Alright, definitely feeling a little light on health, which is not so great. And because this is an Aether Warp totem, I'm relatively confident that I can do it. One of the great things about having Rune of Callister available is you can set up traps. I mean, these are basically traps. So we can just put up, I think you get, is it 3 or 5 you can get out? It's going to be 4. Alright, I definitely do not want Old Mate McGee here to get many more hits on me. This guy, I think I'm just going to have to tank him for a little bit. There we go, we've picked up a level. Got 3 blue items out of this. Haste boots, absolutely. Yes, I will take those. Give me some more physique. How are we doing for physique? Okay, I can get new pants now, so I'm going to take these. Oh, no, I can't. I can't do it. These are providing the 6% physique I need to get to 192. However, I could put a couple more points in here. What do we get? So that would be 45, 7. I don't think that's going to be enough. No, I'm going to be 1 short. Okay, well, that wasn't part of the plan anyway, so that's fine. More points in Stormbox. I think the Lightning Tether is good, but this damage doesn't get added to the actual Stormbox. This is just the Lightning Tether part, so maybe not for that. Still didn't pick up another component here. Okay, what do we got here? Does give me 2% physique. Is that enough? No, it is not. Okay. Neither of these, I think, is very good. +2 to Rune of Callister is not bad. This does have movement speed, but not as much. More armor is definitely good. 28 physique, done, sold. And Stonehide Brigandine Vest. So Stonehide is one of those really nice prefixes that can give you a lot of resistances. Piercing, poison, and bleeding. All of these at higher levels can get like 30% to all 3, which is really, really good. And this has 120 health on it as well, so absolutely I'm going to be wearing that. What do we got here? Time Warp. I think I mentioned last episode that Time Warp is really bad for a proc. Okay. Well, I was probably going to be doing this anyway, so if you're ever short on stats, you can just put polished emeralds on your rings or your helmet, which I didn't really want to do that, especially since I now have the physique to wear the pants without actually needing to do that, but that's kind of fine. So I did have these pants stashed away. They've got 100 and something armor on them, which I think is the same as these ones. So maybe I won't be using them anyway. We can, however, talk to Duncan here. And we could now make, you know, the components, the level 15 components. So we could be getting, I think it's Amber. Amber is level 20, okay. But there's a whole bunch of level 15 components. Actually, if I just search for level 15, all these ones at level 15. Silk Swatch we could be putting on. Anti-Venom Salve we could be putting on. Actually, this is probably not bad. I am short on scrap though, so I'll leave it for now. Alright, let's chuck these on and then do a little bit of a comparison. So same armor, that's great. 4% health on the Rune Carved. Better resistances. I think I'm going to stick with those. Yeah, that's fine. I do want a... Yeah, I'm going to want that in 3 levels. I do want that component for some more lightning damage. So Word of Pain getting up there for lightning. I think I am going to make this swap as well. It's not going to be a massive difference, but it'd be good to show it. And also, we are getting some better lightning damage stuff in here. So what are we looking at here? Basically 400 to 470. So minus 20 on the low end and plus 50 on the top end. So pretty much the same as before, but it is all lightning stuff now. And if we scroll down here to our magic damage stuff, fire is at plus 60, cold is at 100, lightning is 123. So a little bit of an upgrade, not massive. The big difference is going to be the area of effect. Let's actually check those belts. What do we got? No regen, no regen. That's a really good belt. 10 armor. Yeah, okay. I'm going to buy that one back, and you can have that one there. That one's actually okay as well. Let's try that instead. And then the Blade Ward's Courage. What do we got here? No. Stuff on block. That's a hard pass from me. Alright, all my points are spent. Let's have a look for some health regen stuff. I'm mostly, like I said, looking for gold bands because you can get stuff like this. 24 regeneration on one ring is pretty good. I would like to get a little bit more though. So these could be good. I probably should have got the one earlier that was only 1,000. Or was that a ring? I can't remember. Doesn't really matter. I did not mean to click on that. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty bad aside from the regen. Regen, though, is incredibly powerful in Act 1. I think I'll leave it for now. Check this guy. What do you got for me? Dreadlords of Mending. That would be decent. Not amazing, but decent. Very expensive for what you get, though. Mystic of Mending is probably the best I'm going to get, let's be honest. I do have an amulet waiting for me with some... I think it has regen on it. Platinum Band of Mending. Okay, if this was a gold band, we'd be looking at like 29, 30 health regenerated a second, which would be amazing. Got some energy regen on there, which could be good. Again, I think I'm going to leave it for now. We get any weapons with some nice procs? No. Not that I can really afford these anyway, so I probably shouldn't even be looking. Alright. Let's get back to it. So we're heading north now. We've come out of the cave, done the totem. If you want to, you don't have to do it. And look at this now. I'm hitting basically the entire screen. And they're still taking similar amounts of damage, so the increase in AoE is definitely nice. We do, of course, have to rescue Steven Seagal here. So we can tell him about the prison, send him back to town, and when we go back, we will have some XP waiting in town for us, which you'll love to see. Unfortunately, they've blocked everything off here, which is really annoying. I could go over this way. I do have the quest to kill Balros and Hagra, but I think I want to get to the town first. There's also a law note kind of over here-ish that I'm missing. Being able to just right-click and delete this entire wall is always fun. That will never not be amusing to me. Once again, Word of Pain being one of the best leveling skills in the game. Maybe I should just take all my points and put them into Word of Pain. It's probably not a horrible idea. What we can do here is we can just run around in circles, throw the storm box on each of the baddies, and then they all just kind of die. Okay, Stone-Faced of Mending. 24 regeneration plus a bunch of other stuff. That's my amulet for Act 1. Mutant Bludgeons, I don't care. Aggressive of the Eagle is actually not horrible, so I'll use that for a free one until I get one with some better regeneration on it. And we're getting actually a lot of rare items here. Level 16, that's got some good armor on it, which would be nice. And if this had some regen on it, would be even better. Okay, there is a book in here. Can't cast through doors, apparently. Grab the cultist orders. That'll give us a quest to deal with Doreni. On normal difficulty, don't really care for the Aether Shoulders and Helmet, so... well, Aether Shoulders, I think he drops. So we could definitely just kill him. Having said that, though, Blood of Chthon, not really something you need huge amounts of in normal difficulty. I don't believe there are any monster infrequents from the Skeleton Key dungeons that I really care about. Maybe you could make the argument for the Gargle Balls ring, but, I mean, good luck fighting him. I don't really want to mess with him at this stage. He's very, very rippy. I think the earliest I would consider fighting him is 75, just kind of in case he drops his gun, and then you can maybe change over to a Vitality pistol build for this guy. But yeah, definitely a fight to be avoided. I think I probably won't end up using those rings just for that reason. It's a nice chunk of XP there. Alright, so I'm looking for the fabric here. There are, as always, set locations for the chests. They are always weathered chests, but they're not all weathered chests will have it. So this one here, one of these piers has one. Yeah, it was this one. But like I said, not all of the weathered chests are going to be the correct one. So this one is a weathered chest, and it does not have a fabric in it. Alright, getting more of the speedy zombies. Checking there for a fabric. This is going to be my third one. There it is. Okay, and these overseers have a very nice offhand, which I was kind of hoping he would drop so I could show it. Alas, didn't happen. Okay, Furies also are painful. Alright, maybe I should just not be using the Stormbox. Forsaken Totem, this one's going to be a little more dangerous. I am going to set up the runes. At least maybe 2 or 3 of these. And I do have a level there as well. Leave it for now. This was really not too bad. These guys, Flesh Whoop Commanders, can be quite bad. Okay, Explorer's Trousers, these are really good for level 15, just for the XP gain, but they do also have some good resistances, good armor and such. Definitely worth having a look at. I don't think they're too expensive, although I think it's a lot of scrap. Alright, neither of the blues are any good. This has got decent increase in armor, but I'd be losing health, so probably not that. That's a lot of stats. That might be worth swapping in. Let's have a look. 1500 health, basically the same health. Lost a decent amount of resistances, but Act 1 doesn't really matter for resistances. Damage to undead will be very useful at the moment. All those stats is really, really good, and the energy regen is also good. I think I'm going to make that trade, not that one. Got extra damage to undead, which is really good on this. I think that one's probably a no, though. Shield's a no. And we've got a 19 regen medal that I didn't have to spend a bunch of bits on, so I'll take that one. There we go. Putting more points in physique, and where are we going from here? I'm thinking more points in Stormbox. I'm also thinking more points in Word of Agony. I'm mostly fighting trash at the moment, so I'll max out Word of Agony. This is now going to pretty much literally hit the entire screen for a lot of lightning damage. Basically one-shotting a lot of these things. There's the Ritual Circle for the first time. Had that for quite a while and it's never triggered. Alright, I'm committed now. I cast it twice and didn't hit them. I want them dead. The energy use on a level 1 Word of Pain is also very, very low, so I could spam this until the cows come home. Practically forever. Alright, one of you guys has got to have an offhand for me, surely. And we're going to get to that point, and I won't be able to use it because it won't have the Ritual Circle proc on it. Or I won't want to use it, I should say. Alright, everyone's going to tick down nicely. We can just keep throwing Word of Pain out. There we go. We've got a new jacket to consider. That's a no from me, just looking at the armor value. And even better, we have got a damage proc. So Tsunami here is going to be doing Cold and Lightning, chance to fumble, all that good stuff. And that'll be giving us some extra damage against Krieg when we eventually get there. Alright, doors open. You guys die. You guys die. Everybody gets to die. Please run over that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so this is what we came here for. Rescue the apprentice. Go back through the easy door that I probably should have used instead of killing all that. I am definitely going to be a little bit over-leveled. If I'm doing a speed run on veteran, well, I say speed run. I never really do that, but doing Act 1, it is entirely possible, even likely, that I would be done with Act 1 by level 14, 15 if I'm not worried about killing lots of stuff and waffling a bit. Okay, I'm going to leave that Aether Crystal. I know that's weird after I just got done saying you can never have enough of them, but it's a bit of a run, and there's going to be a lot of them coming up here, so I think it'll be fine. There's the Tsunami going off pretty much constantly. Not quite constantly, but it goes off fairly regularly. The more things you have ticking with Word of Pain, the faster it's going to go off. I did see some rare gloves there, so absolutely yes, especially because I saw the Tempest prefix. That's going to be really good. New hat maybe? No, just kidding, we already have the best hat in Act 1. I probably should eat those. No, we've already eaten them. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I think I'm going to just put everything into physique for a little while. What are we up to, 11? Yeah, 11. Spirit's at 5, that's probably enough for now. Eventually I'm going to run into a piece of equipment that I want to use that needs more spirit, and I won't have it. But we're not quite there yet. Something that should come up around about now, yeah, there it is the Ancient Aetherwarp Totem in the Warden cellar. If you want to die, this is a really good place to do it, because that thing has probably got more kills of players of Grim Dawn than just about anything else. It is quite rippy. You definitely can do it when you find it, but yeah, just be prepared to die because you probably will. So I'm going to make my way through here. I'm going to not do the suicide totem. And it's going to just kind of be fine. Okay, big overseer here. These are the guys you want to kill. The ones with yellow names are, there we go, aggressive of corrosion. So overseer's eyes, +2 to lightning tether. These also will have a lightning bias, so you are decently likely to come across one of these with a nice lightning bolt proc on it. Not guaranteed, of course. And do I go back for this? I mean, you can see where it is. I don't think I go back for it. I'm sorry. I love the loot in the walls, but I don't think I'm going to go back for it. So yeah, we're basically targeting serrated spikes are definitely good to have. We are targeting overseers and the other eyeballs. This was definitely a mistake. Stand in the middle of 3 of those guys and just blow them up. Fire resist, it's actually okay. Okay, so we're despised with the ethereals. That means we're going to start getting a few more heroes, slightly larger packs, which is all well and good. I'm definitely killing stuff that I don't need to be killing here, so let's move on from there. Get a few more into the storm box. There you go, you can have one. Throw all the damage on him. I was kind of hoping for a much better eyeball. It's not looking good. Maybe it's fine, but it is definitely not looking great for getting one of those. They are all through here, including right up to the Warden's door. There's a decent chance I'll find one in there as well. I think I would rather have like a lightning proc rather than the circle. Oh, the circle is really, really good, so maybe not. Cutthroat's ring, what do we got here? Nope, no good. I'm definitely running out of time to find regeneration rings, so I may have to go back to town and just buy one. This way is locked. That is unfortunate. I mean, more overseers around here, so it's not the worst thing in the world. I do like how they just explode half the time. This is going to be very pretty. Okay, cracked lodestones. Definitely we'll be putting ambers on everything at level 20, or, you know, probably 22, because I'll forget. Okay, I would have preferred to go the other way, but that's fine. We can go this way and fight beasts instead. This is level 18. Alright, so at this point, I'm thinking putting 5 points in here. This is probably where we start getting less scaling. You can see, so at the moment, 1 point increases the damage taken reduction from Chthonic and Eldritch. 1%, 1%, 1%, and it's gone. So for the 6th point in here, you are not getting additional less damage from Chthonics and Eldritch. This is why I say 5 points is kind of a good point for the healing skills to sit for a little while. So that's what I'm going to do. Probably do the same with the Blood of Krieg when we eventually get to it, although that is a little ways in the future. Word of Pain being a screen-wide delete button is always fun. Alright, what do we got here? Rune Carved is really good. Not losing the proc, though. That proc is going to be very useful against Krieg. And let me check the plan. What are we doing for... Oh, we're going for the Quill next. And since I don't need the blue point anymore for Tsunami, let's go take that out as well. Now, this is going to cost an Aether Crystal, so you don't want to do this all the time. But devotion points are quite powerful, so getting that one back will get me actually... What do we lose here? 18 defensive ability. Completely worthless while leveling. Let's take offensive ability instead, and we'll get some elemental damage. So that is, I believe, all 7 points. 5, 6, 7. Yep, that's what we're getting for Act 1. We could go into Act 2 and get a couple of these. Getting one more for the 8% Aether resistance would be decently useful against Krieg. I don't think it's worth it, but you can just skip Krieg for now and come back later. Let's not go ahead and take that.
What do you want?
And we do have friendly with these guys. Alright, I'm just going to take the key from him. I've got 2 of them now, which I definitely don't need. But I will kill him when we get to him. I don't have levels for that. Yeah, that's fine. We'll sell that. Fingers crossed none of this was actually worth wearing. This one is not bad, though. I'm going to hang on to that because it has Aether resistance on it, which could be very useful. Let's actually have a look here. 9% on that, 14% on that. I don't think I'm going to be level 20 in time to use it. It's Aether damage. That's fine. Okay. Let's have a look for some health regen. That's the Sister's Amulet. No, we don't want any of those. I'm at the wrong merchant as well, which would probably help. So, health regeneration. What do we got here? Gold Band of Mending. Alright. It's not amazing. I would love to have a lightning prefix, but it is what it is. I'm going to take it. 26 extra regen. We're up to 100 a second in regen, which is pretty good. What else have we got over here? Only 1 E in regen. Well, there's multiple, but no double E's. I definitely should have looked at this before I bought the previous one. 30 regeneration per second on one item is bonkers. Got 19 on this. This one is definitely better, but for 4,000 bits, I think I'm okay. That's 27 as well. What do we got for amulets? I've already got 24 on my amulet, so I probably don't need another one of these. This is crazy. I've never seen a gold band of mending with plus 30. I think the biggest I've seen is 27, 28, something like that. So this is probably a perfect roll on mending and also a perfect roll on the gold band. Not even 4,000 bits. I think I have to buy that. And you can have that one. 17, no, that's fine. What are our rares here? Seismic Blast, no, that's a two-hander. None of those are any good. Shoulders. Rune Carved is pretty good. Would be less armor, less health. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So for regeneration, we've got 100, and if I put this one on for the boss fight, we're up to 130. That is not enough to just stand there and laugh at him, especially because I'll be losing some when I swap this in. But it's okay. It's all right. Let's go find Krieg. So this area has a ton of targets to throw spells at, which is great. They're going to be climbing out of the ground. They're going to be dropping a bunch of crystals. Aether crystals are amazing. And like I said, Word of Pain, really, really good leveling skill. You can pop the entire screen with one spell cast. It's great. Are you dead yet? Why aren't you dead yet? He's not dead yet because of the one weakness of Word of Pain, and that is single target damage. Stormbox is also not amazing for single target, but Doombolt's really good. We just have to get there. Okay, grabbing the crystals here. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure why I'm bothering with Callister. We can spam Word of Pain, so it's never not available for casting, and it just does so much damage to the trash. One-shots all of them. Definitely picking up the crystals. I am a little bit disappointed in just how many Overseer's eyes are not dropping, because normally they rain from on high, and you'll get probably 5, 6, maybe even 7 of them on a run through here. But it just hasn't been dropping, so... I mean, it is what it is, right? You either get it or you don't. 50%. You guys stop killing each other, please. I need that XP. Eyeball? No eyeball. Definitely hoping for an eyeball from that guy at the back there. Definitely didn't get it. Alright, I think I may end up putting some points into the rune at this point. Level 2 on Tsunami is nice. What do we got? 3 extra points. Now, I definitely could put them in there. Maybe Word of Pain. Maybe just put them in the bar, or we could go for Occultist. The plan was to keep going here. I definitely want to get my hands on Aura of Censure here for the resistance shredding. Inquisitor Seal also really, really good. In fact, Inquisitor Seal does somewhat decent damage as well, if you can get things to stand in it. I'm really tempted by Rune of Haggard as well. It's not amazing damage, but it's another spell that I can cast while I'm waiting for things to come off cooldown. Maybe we just take Word of Pain. No. Stick with the plan. Inquisitor Seal is next. And attributes, let's go Physique. You look scary. The Undying, is this... No, it's the Reborn is the guy who comes back to life, isn't it? You can see what I mean, though, when you've got the dots on them, you just kind of run around in circles. There's not a whole lot to do. So getting 1 point in Haggard actually wouldn't have been a horrible idea. I'm absolutely killing way too much stuff here too. Having said that, Word of Pain is just a lot of fun. It's been quite a while since I played with this skill, and I forgot how much fun it is to walk into a room and just delete the entire thing with one right click. This obviously falls off pretty hard later on, but it's just crazy how good it is early. Thought there might have been a hero up there. Definitely isn't. That's unfortunate. But you can see how many eyeballs are in this area. And the chance of getting a drop from them is pretty low. But there's just a lot of them, so you can see how you could get tons of the eyeball. There's 3 of them. This one's an Overmind as well, so pretty good chance of that dropping. They hurt. They hurt a lot, actually. What's my lightning resist at? 22, that's probably why. Alright, so I'm going to run around here, because obviously I like Aether Crystals. And I do also like not being dead, so that's a thing. Unfortunately, you kind of have to go around twice to pick up all the loot. Can we maybe tank this guy for a little bit? No. So I usually say that for hardcore, 100 hit points per level is sort of like the minimum. But here I am with 1600 hit points at level 19. This is definitely low. This is very, very low. May not have enough regeneration to stand in front of Krieg here. Okay, let's go back to town, and I want to see if I can fix this. because that is nowhere near enough health. And part of the reason why is I've only got 18 points. That's not quite one a level. That's actually not too bad. But getting up to Vigor would be really good. So that would need another level. Or I could take 3 points out of somewhere, and that'll get me 100 hit points. So could maybe think about doing that. The other thing is, I kind of do want to point in Rune of Hagarad. I think this might just have to be it. Let's go ahead and chuck you on there, chuck you on there. Still 1600. We could maybe chuck some dust on here. That'll get me a little bit more. Okay, that really wasn't very good. Instead, we'll try Frozen Hearts. One thing I will say though, Frozen Hearts, you need one of them in Act 2 for an early devotion shrine. Make sure you have one left. Don't spend your last one. I'm going to regret that too. Alright, so there is about 150 health. I think I might just do the crafting now. We can get some anti-venom salves. Or an anti-venom salve. So if we just do anti, boom, chuck that on the belt. Yes, I'm sure we can do 2 ward stones. 1, 2. So this is run speed, elemental, and bleeding resist. We want 2... No, we just want 1 silk swatch, I think. Imbued silver. Or, no, resilient. Don't have enough of that. Okay. It's okay, we have a solution for this. We just buy them. And this is a big part of why I wanted a decent amount of iron bits. Just casual double rare in Act 1. It's actually not that amazing. Of the Wild being a pet suffix kind of hurts that, but you can get double rares from merchants, and if you're at the right merchant, you can get triple rares. Right, where are we? Silk Swatch needs a resilient plating. So we can chuck that on there. And what else do we need? 2 scaled hides, which I don't have enough scavenged platings for. I think it's going to be fine. Think. And we're just a little bit short of level 20. Okay, what we can do is you can go back to your rift, or you can go anywhere else that is not close to the merchants you want to buy from. And then you can just kind of hang out for 10 seconds-ish. There's no set amount of time, but you can just hang out for about 10 seconds. And then go back to town, and your merchants' inventories will have reset. So we can now just go ahead and buy some more scavenged platings. Which I will need 2 of, so lovely. And I'll have a look at making amber as well. What am I short on here? I'm short on bristly fur. Okay, you can craft that from memory. Yep, there we go. Bristly fur. Scaled hide. Okay, scaled hide on the chest. Scaled hide again. Didn't I already craft one? I swear I crafted a scaled hide. Okay. Bristly fur. I may have crafted a scavenge plating there. Okay, so I need to craft one of these. This is going to go into scavenge plating. Then I craft a bristly fur, which uses the scavenge... Okay, that's a waste of time. I'm going to reset the merchants again, just to get this. I don't really need to have it right now, but, I mean, I'm kind of committed. Also, while I'm here, where can I take 3 points out to get an extra 100 hit points? I think it has to be... I mean, Word of Agony is pretty good. I think it has to be Word of Agony, though. I really need the damage on Stormbox. So, I think I'm going to take 4 points out of Word of Agony. Put 1 into Rune of Hagarad. Having said that, that's actually not a lot of damage. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just go kill him. That could also work. I'll go get the scaled hide. I'll have a look at amber. I expect the amber is going to be... Wait, need to buy from the merchants first. I expect the amber is maybe going to be a little bit expensive. There we go. And I think it'll be fine. Alright. So scaled hide here. If I could click properly. So one more there. Alright, so that's my armor absorption up to 98%, which means if I had enough armor, I could reduce all incoming physical damage to 2%. I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, maybe. Alright, amber is cracked lodestones. Can I craft those, or am I just out of luck? I can craft them. I think we just leave them for now. We've got, like, probably could hit level 20 right now, actually. That's fine. Let's just go kill him. We've got a decent amount of regeneration. Aether resistance is not amazing, but it's not that bad. So I think we can just kill him. Alright, he's going to have a few friends here. He's going to have a few friends here, which in this case is actually not a bad thing. This is going to be a kiting kill, which is not great. There it is. He does sunder, but as long as you stay off of his mines, you're probably fine. The other thing is, I could probably just tank his first form. Maybe. Have to use healing potions for this. I don't have a lot of buffer though, that's kind of what I'm worried about. Okay, first form down. I haven't done a kiting kill of him for a little while. I've just basically stood in his face and killed him for quite a while. I'm gonna have to stay out of the stomp, and he's going to be shooting the wave out. As long as you run sideways, perpendicular to him, he actually can't really hurt you. I mean, he can, but you just dodge all of the little bees that he shoots at you, dodge the Aether Wave. When he charges, you evade away. The stomp always follows a charge, so as long as you evade away, you'll be fine. And now in his second form, he doesn't put any more runes on the floor, so only I get to have runes. He's right. Not yet, anyway. Alright, there he goes. So you can just run around in circles, he'll never hit you. That's another piece of the Explorer's set, so I could have two pieces now. The helmet is a really good one. Once you no longer need Milton's hat for Act 1. Let's go ahead and chuck that back on, and do I want the regen here? I don't think it really matters. I'll keep the component on there. Okay, Warden's Shield can be really, really good. If you get a durable Warden's Fortress, you can be looking at like 20% physical resistance, which is really, really good. This one is not horrible. However, I think I want to keep the rituals suffix on that, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave that. One thing to note as well with the Warden is make sure you loot the room. So the Warden's chest here always has a tainted brain matter in it, which you can use to craft a relic. And then you also get some other stuff here. Nether Crown, +2 to Stormbox, Arcane Blast. That's a really nice hat. I will probably end up using that. And of course there's often a lore note in here. There we go. So get a little bit of free XP there. And that is the end of Act 1. The Warden is dead. Got a little bit of crafting to do here. Just double check that none of these are very good. Sigil of Consumption is actually also quite good. This is a little bit less damage than Elemental Seal, but you get a bunch of that back as health. So, yeah. If it was on a different item, I would probably use this. I think you can get Sigil of Consumption on gloves, which I would definitely use. You can also get Doombolt on gloves. So something to think about if you find something nice. I'm going to use that. I'm going to sell that. Yeah, I don't need the regen items anymore. Regeneration in Act 2 definitely has a lot less power. Unless you can stack 300 or 400 a second, it's usually not worth doing. That's a lot of stats. I think we'll skip it for now. Okay, what do I have in terms of scrap? So I need 6 to repair the bridge. So first thing I'm going to do is... Okay, I have 0 scrap. Is that right? I actually have 0 scrap. How did that happen? Alright, let's turn this in. I'll leave this for now. Skill-wise, I think it's fine. And this should get me level 20, which would be nice. There we go, level 20. Definitely quite high compared to what I'm normally at. 3 scrap. 4 scrap. No scrap. The other thing we could do, I could go through the Wanderer? Why do I want to call him the Wanderer? Anyway, the guy who lets you get into the Forgotten Gods area, I could go through his portal in town. And that would be a way to get some more of this. Fortified Doublé. Definitely... Am I going to use that? Yeah, I think I'd be silly not to. Definitely going to use that. Let's go more physique. And do we get anything here? Yes. 100 extra health. So we're back above 100 hit points per level, which most people will agree is a pretty decent minimum. At least I think most people will agree. One more scrap, come on, there we go. Alright, so first order of business, repair the bridge. Then we can look at some more components. I am level 20 now, so I could use the amber. If I have enough cracked lodestones, which I may not. I definitely do want to get amber though. So let's see what it's going to take. I can create 0, so I need 6 more cracked lodestones. I can make 4 because I'm short on polished emeralds. You can buy these. Let's go do it. I am going to be short on aether crystals as well. Let's go check out the White Mire. Not because there's anything to do here, but I mean, I need to go somewhere. This seems like a good place to go. So already down to 20,000 iron bits. Fingers crossed I can get all this done. That reminds me, I am turning magic items off. I don't ever want to see them again. And we will more than have enough... I'm still 1 short, aren't I? We will have more than enough bits after this. This is the thing that I wanted the bits for. Lodestone... Actually, I've already got enough there, don't I? Amber. I will be 1 short. Okay, and I need more crystals. So 1 cracked lodestone. And let's go get some more crystals. Generally speaking, when I finish Act 1, I will usually, not always, but I'll usually go do another run through the Warden's Laboratory anyway, just to get some extra crystals. I have, however, done all of the crafting aside from this amber that I'm going to need to do, so I don't, strictly speaking, need to come in here for all of the crystals. Having said that, it's still good to have more. I will end up needing them. I'm going to want Aether Souls at some point, and being able to respec devotion points is also always good. Speaking of the Tsunami and respecing devotion points, we will be respecing Tsunami at a later date. It is coming up actually about halfway through. So we'll have a few extra things to worry about before we get there. Okay, pick up the crystals, a couple more around the corner here, and then we are done. being able to just delete entire screens is always fun. Okay, done with those. Let's go make those ambers. Unfortunately, you can take these ones off, which I am going to do, keep item, but it does delete them. So if I had another weapon to put on, that would actually be ideal. Keep add-on, there we go. One thing I will say as well, if your piercing resistance is not at least 50% after you've put one silk swatch on here, you'll need to put another one on your pants, because going into Act 2 with less than 50% is questionable, shall we say. Okay, Amber, 2, 1, 2, done. Alright, Amber does not give you a spell. Amber does give you a spell. Which is the one that doesn't give you a spell? Okay, well, I was thinking it doesn't give you a spell. Turns out it does. Also turns out that if you're not going to be using the spell, which I'm not, 25% electrocute and 25% lightning is actually kind of garbage. Let's have a look what else we could have got. Radiant gems, no. Elemental damage is not bad, but the resistance, yeah, okay. So that's a no. I don't know what that word I was trying to spell was. Cracked lodestone is already... I mean, it is double, I guess. Hellsbane ammo, was that the one? Yeah, Hellsbane ammo is the aura. Okay, so actually I wanted one of these on here, and one amber. That's fine. So if you can make a Hellsbane ammo, go ahead and do that. I'm not going to bother. I'll just go with the amber. I'll get a Hellsbane ammo later. Serves me right for not checking the plan. On the plan, I have, yep, Hellsbane ammo on the offhand and amber on the main hand. Alright, so I screwed up there, but fingers crossed you can learn from my mistake and get a slightly better component. It's not the end of the world. Lightning damage, already 175. We'll be getting more. But that is going to be the end of episode 2, so I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.